Hi, everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome back. It's Ashley Sage and the beautiful Janine. And it is
Deep
Deep
Dive
Dive Friday.
Friday.
We had to do a Friday video because it is Friday the 13th. And we're going to do a dive into the Friday the 13th, see why people hate it so much or why it's gotten such a bad rap, because I definitely don't think it has a bad meaning. But let's get into it because there's so many people who are afraid of the number 13 and Friday the 13th. So I had to do a little research as to why. And this comes from way, 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 way back religious eras. They kind of shamed the number 13, and it had to do with the 13 people at the Last Supper. There was another name of like 13 people at a table. It was like 13 wasn't the good like energy for a meeting. There was always bad juju around it, and it could be the 13 bloodlines.
Yeah.
Right. So there could be a little bit of that, like maybe there's a fear around that. And then of course Friday was the day associated with Jesus Christ, and all his events tended to happen on Fridays. So it was like a big no day. So it was not a good day to do anything. But it hasn't always been a bad day, and I know that. Right? We all know that because I love Friday the 13th. It's personally one of my favorite days. And then we were talking about it before, the cards, the tarot cards, the 14 and the 4, right? Because 13 goes down to 4. So card number 13 is death, which we have the death card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, not, most people think it's really scary, but it actually is just about change, right? And then 13 into 4, and 4 is the Emperor, right? Our Emperor card is really strict. It's about rules, it's about boundaries, it's about following order, structure, all that stuff. So a lot of people just don't like those numbers.
Yeah.
Let's get in to see if Friday the 13th is actually a bad day or a good day, and why. Do you want to look into that?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
All right. What did you get there, Ashley?
I got the 5 of Swords with the High Priestess. So it's got a little bit of an energy. It's not good and it's not bad. It's kind of what you can make of it. And I got the King of Swords in between. So it's like it depends on how you manifest it. So it's a really workable day is what I'm getting.
Okay, that makes sense. I've got surrender too, and I feel like to me, so that's mentally, it's how you approach it mentally and how you think about it, similar to what you're getting there. And I'm getting take into consideration with that star, the astrological ramifications maybe of 13 equals 4 equals Saturn. That's a Saturn number. So the emperor relates to Saturn and Saturnian energy. And we know that Saturn, or we've discovered that very big with deep staters and dark cult members, they worship Saturn and believe maybe some of their demons come from there. And for regular astrology, it's your hardest lesson.
It's your hardest lesson. And Saturn, it is the 13th, I believe it's the 13th or the 14th. Saturn moves into Aries for the next 2 years. The Emperor, which is the Aries card, which is Saturn. So we're going to be coming into some really intense energy, I'm guessing, in the next 2 years if you're not ready for it, right? Yeah. This feels really intense.
Yeah.
Energy in like a good or a bad way. This depends on how you want to manifest it, right? If we're in bad thoughts, is kind of what I'm feeling like, because I have the 8 of Swords going forward with the 6 of Wands and then the Knight of Swords as clarifiers. So if we're in a bad mindset, this almost feels like a nice reset, almost like a New Year's is kind of what it feels like for your mind. If you're not in the right headspace going forward for the next little bit, it feels like this Friday the 13th could kind of backfire on you. So I think year would be a really good year to just kind of reset that mindset of how this energy is working for you, right?
That makes a lot of sense to this. So we've got, it's time to end the facades around it and rebirth it in your own positive way. This card here is a positive. This is the advice, which is take it for yourself and make it something good and celebrate it instead of, so celebrate and face your big lessons instead of being afraid of them and turning them into that Saturn demon. Actually celebrate, face them head on and be like, bring it on. Okay, I can do this. Right. So you're going to need some self-esteem and all of that Aries moving into all of that Aries. That's going to help for sure. Right. Aries, you come with a natural sense of self-esteem if they know how to utilize it. And the death cards, like, let go forever of the bad connotation around it, because it was just given to us. We basically, I don't want to say adopted, I want to say inherited it. Because we've been oppressed by this bunch for so long, and it's time to maybe kick it out of our psyche, time to let it go.
Take back the power of it, right? The intense energy of this Friday the 13th, right? And I feel like this one is going to be a really intense one. So it would be a good day to, get some power ups, I guess you could say. All right. Do we want to look at like how to utilize this Friday the 13th? If there's any advice from the universe of like how to make this a good thing?
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah. We need all the help we can get these days because
pretty intense, pretty squirrely.
Yeah. Things are difficult. Yeah.
Huh.
What you getting there?
Some pretty intense vibes, like in a good way. So I got the Empress with the 9 of Pentacles. So using this Friday the 13th just to take back your independence, right? Like kind of sit in your power differently instead of using it forcefully, use it in a more feminine manner, potentially. And then we have the Chariot in between. So yeah, the Chariot goes into battle, but it's also the Cancer card. So it's using this softness, but as a shield at the same time. So you kind of like, because it's the Empress is right next to it. It's almost like kind of charging into your own independence in the way that you need it instead of being fearful of everything around you. It's like, how can I work this to my advantage is what I'm kind of getting. And then we have the 7 of Swords going forward with the Magician and the King of Pentacles. Right? Wow. So it almost feels like a really good reset. To like, it almost feels like a huge reset, like a big New Year's. So it would be a great day to go out and have fun, right? In a gentle manner for yourself, like however you celebrate yourself, and like set some new goals, which is strange.
I like it. I like it.
Right?
I get what you're saying, because this ace here, so the Ace of Wands showed up again in mine, and it's underneath the self-loving card. So in a way, what you're saying is celebrate and take something back for yourself. So that would make sense to this card. Okay, so in a sense, own it for yourself and take it back, and don't let someone else tell you something's bad or good. Decide for yourself and choose to feel a certain way about it. It's all about how you choose to feel about it. And see that Knight of Pentacles here, and then move carefully out there with that intention. So make sure you're mentally and with your actions taking steps with intention to undo some of those spell casts. So stop saying, ooh, Friday the 13th. Instead say, Friday the 13th. Awesome. Right?
Yeah.
New vibe. Yeah. Give it a new, it's like rebrand Friday the 13th for yourself. own it back. Okay. And it's all about how you're speaking about it and thinking about it. And we can let go forever of it being something bad, erase that and reset it. Like you said,
Yeah.
reset it by using our words about it and thoughts about it moving forward.
Yeah. Right. So it's kind of like it's a big day I feel like this is, well, I've always done this. And I think we used to do Friday the 13th rituals as well when we both lived in Calgary. We would celebrate to a certain degree, and it was mainly with food because that's our favorite pastime. But that's a really good way to manifest is what you're consuming and just how good it is and the luxury of it and how this is how good life is going to feel, right? Because the power of your mind is going to really rotate a lot of things in your life, your health, who you attract, how you feel, right? There's certain times we can affect certain things, like how we're feeling. If you wake up sick, you wake up sick. But sometimes you have to rewire your brain of how it talks to your body. And this is a huge thing in manifestation as well, is you have to rewire how you bring in. And because I have the Empress there, like you have to bring in more of a luxurious feel to this day instead of just the hard structure of staying inside and not going out.
Yeah. And it's interesting. The Empress is a 3, and then this Ace is a 1.
Yeah.
So it's like started over with more of abundance minded and self-love. So instead of keeping it and adding it up to 4 and making it your biggest life lesson sort of energy, to keep them separate and go, I'm going to rebirth self-love for myself and do something really fun and sort of luxurious for myself. Whatever that is for everybody, it's different. And for you and I, it used to be eating our favorite snacks. But every taste was the ritual right there. We're tasting, and we would imagine and speak about it out loud, what we're calling to ourselves, and we're tasting what that tastes like. What does it taste like to have enough monies abundantly created with integrity to sustain ourselves and our families and our households or whatever we were asking to sustain? What does it feel like? And in this case, what does it taste like? So we would taste our future creations that we were manifesting. Yeah.
Right. It was the best way to manifest. It always worked.
It's been working.
Yeah. Right. Totally. I love that. Okay, cool. All right. Do we want to look into the power of maybe Friday?
Yeah. I love Friday.
I love Fridays. We always do ritual on Fridays. So I know there's a power of Friday, but let's see what the universe has to say about the power of Friday in this manifestation. Because it's not just the 13, it's not just the Friday, it's the 2 together. But we went into the power of 13, but let's go into the power of Friday.
I think I've heard it associates with Venus somehow.
I wanted to say Friday is like a Venus day, isn't it?
Yeah, Lover's Day. And it's not necessarily about long-term relationships, but lovers and romance.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a lover's kind of day. If you want to start something new with somebody, start it on a Friday. Like romantically. Saturdays are more family or for long-term relationship connections. But Fridays because Saturdays are about structure again. So a structured relationship gives some energy to that. But if you want to start a new one, it would be the best to start on a Friday.
On a Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Hilarious. Okay. So usually Friday for most people, depending on your work schedule, we get Friday as this is the last day of work. So this is before we enter into our like weekend of crazy times or relaxation or whatever it is. So before my last 2 cards were the 7 of Cups and the Emperor. So starting something on a Friday, right, is the last thing anybody wants to do. They want to enjoy the weekend. But if you started something on a Friday, because the 7 of Cups and the Emperor next to like as my clarifiers is like, don't just give up. You have to start something new on the Friday. It's like almost better to start like a new routine, a new way of thinking, like a new habit on the Friday, and then not wasting your whole weekend just lazing around being a bum is kind of what it's getting. Those are my
So start it on that foot. Start it on the foot. Use Friday to launch it.
Yes. That's exactly what it says.
Okay, that's interesting because this is it got powerful energy Friday. So instead of winding down, we're taught that by the Cabal system that teaches, or like that created over time finally, that you have a weekend. And
Yep.
like why does like why can't you take time off more often than just the
Right?
weekend? But anyway, and then everything wound down, and then you were just resting, maybe Saturday and Sunday if you were lucky enough to have those days off. Okay, I feel like instead of that, start new and exciting projects on Friday that are nurturing to you or excite you, and it's creative. There's a sexiness to the wands, but
Right?
there's all, yeah, so new relationships, but also new inspired ideas. So a painting might be good to start on a Friday, and or
Mhm.
a creative project. Say you're making candles and you want to do a really nice batch of ritual candles for yourself. That Friday would be a good day. Yeah, so it's kind of like you'll have to rewire a little bit because a lot of people, they just start winding down on
Yeah,
Friday.
want to wind down, but this
Yeah.
is time to wind up because during the week we're working for the man. Okay. So the weekend is working for us. So you have to wind up for yourself instead of like powering down and just like going into hibernation mode, which a lot of people do. This Fridays into the weekend is a really good time to power up for yourself. I
Mm.
love this.
I do like it. Yeah.
I
Being
love,
kind to yourself. Also, it's a good, again, it keeps reflecting a good time for love and opening up to love. Okay. And both romantic love and also like loves of friendships and people we love. So
Mhm.
Friday all around has a really good vibe. And it's all about how we're going to have to switch a little bit off on the old idea and take it back as a beginning day and not a wind down day.
Yeah, I love that. I love we got the same thing. Different
Yeah.
cards, same meaning. I love it. It's amazing. Okay, cool. Well, we used to always do our Friday rituals. If the full moon was like the Wednesday after, the Tuesday after, we would always do it on the Friday.
Yeah.
You taught me that one for sure, right? So I still do that to this day.
Do it on the earliest Friday before the actual time of the
Yeah,
full moon or the new moon. Yeah,
yeah.
so take it up and not
A
past
few
it.
days before and start that ritual, start that routine, really sit into it. Yeah. This all makes sense. It's all coming together. I love it. Before we go, do you have anything you want to shout out? Anything on your website you want people to kind of check out? Do you have anything fun and exciting? Are your classes still up on there?
Yeah, they're up on the Beyond Mystic. So I'm part of Beyond Mystic, but I also have my own tarotbyjanine.com. So
Okay.
thanks for asking, Ashley.
Yeah, I'll put
And
that up for
yeah,
you.
yeah, so tarotbyjanine.com is where you could support me if you like my work. It's $4.99 American once a month, and that is like less than a latte these days.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Even in Canadian money, less than a latte. Once a month, you can afford it, guys. You can do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love it. Okay, cool. Well, you
good.
go enjoy your wind up, and I'm gonna go enjoy my wind up. Feel free to shout out in the comments if you guys are doing any special rituals for yourselves or anything that you would want to, share with the people of what you do for rituals. We eat. So
Yeah, we
lots of
like.
good tea and food is going to be involved tonight.
Yeah, I love to go out for dinner with Ashley, but also the rituals we did over the years. We did so many.
There's so
Like,
many at the little
yeah,
house. Yeah.
we just came into ourselves spiritually, really doing a lot of things together. So yeah, I really appreciate you, Ashley.
Oh, I appreciate
Lifetimes, lifetimes of appreciation.
lifetimes of love. I love it.
Yay.
All right, everybody, go check the link in the description. Everything's there for Janine's sites, my information as well. And go enjoy your Friday the 13th.
Bye.
Bye.